The Eclipse and the Red Wedding are two of the most legendary plot twists in media history. Everyone remembers where they were and who they were with when they watch Robb Stark draw his last breath, and everyone remembers what they felt when they watched Griffith betray the Band of the Hawk and rape Casca in front of Guts' very eyes. And today, I simply just want to speak about why these two moments in storytelling work so well and are, in my opinion, two of the greatest plot twists in fiction. To me, what makes a good plot twist is something that gives you all the information you need to piece together what is going to happen, but you're missing one key element of the story, or you just don't think it's somewhere that the writer would go. And this is called foreshadowing, something that Kentaro Miura and George R.R. Martin have mastered to an almost unparalleled degree. In A Song of Ice and Fire, there are countless moments where George R.R. Martin directly tells us that the phrase can't be trusted, and that Robb will end up dead eventually. For example, Theon has a dream where he's at a feast for the dead and sees Ned, Robert, Lyanna, Robb, Grey Wind, all in the feast, bloodied. Dany has a vision in the House of the Undying of a dead man wearing a wolf's head at a bloody feast. The ghost of Highheart tells Arya that she saw a woman who was a fish dead, and a wolf howling in the rain, with no one to hear his grief. The dead fish woman is Catelyn Tully, and the howling wolf is Grey Wind. Robb himself sees Frey men stomp on a Stark flag before leaving chapters before the Red Wedding occurs. Catelyn tells Robb that the Freys can't be trusted and that locking up Grey Wind is a bad omen. And most importantly, George even tells us right before the Red Wedding that Robb is going to die. In Catelyn Stark's second to last chapter, Roose Bolton arrives at the Twins, and as long as you paid a little bit of attention to the story, you would know that Roose Bolton is now working with the Lannisters. Arya notes during her time in Harrenhal that Roose Bolton, a northern man, seemed to be working with the South, or else he wouldn't have the castle. So we know going into this chapter that Roose has for sure betrayed Robb and can no longer be trusted. To make matters even worse, Robb spends the whole chapter talking about how he knows he's going to die soon. He even takes the time to write out his will in this moment. So going into the Red Wedding, George has told us time and time again that the Freys can't be trusted, Robb has enemies under his skin, and he will die soon. And yet the Red Wedding is still the Red Wedding, shock and all, simply because it subverts our expectations as viewers. In other forms of media, writers don't kill off their precious main characters no matter what happens. They feel untouchable due to the immense plot armor. Because of this recurring theme, many people, myself included, have gotten to a subconscious point where when we see a character like Robb, an eldest boy fighting for justice and trying to avenge his father's death, we automatically assume that he will be okay. Myself personally, I even felt a little bit of hope in the moment when Catelyn screams for him to get up and walk out, even though he has 2 crossbow bolts in him. The Red Wedding works so well as a plot twist because it subverts the meta expectation of the audience while staying true to the foreshadowing that was set up for it. And the Eclipse from Berserk does the same thing. A lot of people tell you to start with Golden Age and read Black Swordsman after, but truthfully I view this as an inferior way to read the story, because it removes an interesting element of Miura telling you that something really bad is going to happen in the flashback, but not knowing what. When we first meet Guts, he is missing an eye and an arm. Not only that, but mentally he is a disaster. He's quick to rage, cruelty, and wrath, and loses himself further and further with every passing minute. In Black Swordsman, we're given hints of a terrible dark moment in his life that changed him forever. We even meet Griffith in this arc, who is implied to be the source for Guts' rage. Not only do we meet him, but we see him in his femto form, so Black Swordsman reveals a lot about the future or past of Berserk. And we go into Golden Age with the anxiety of knowing something really bad is going to happen, but not knowing what or when, but we know Griffith will transform with these other eldritch entities. This places a large amount of added tension on the arc, where the reader constantly wonders if this is going to be the moment where everything goes to shit. But here's the thing. Somehow, someway, Miura found it in himself to fool the reader into an almost false sense of security. Golden Age goes on for so long that Black Swordsman and the doom and gloom of it slips to the back of your mind, never truly going away but taking a back seat for a time. And then it happens. All of the build-up, all of the symbolism, all of the fear hits you like a freight train, and all of a sudden you're smack dab in the middle of the eclipse, and hell is unfolding in front of you. All of a sudden, all of the anxiety and fear kicks into high gear, and you leave Volume 13 with one simple saying. I knew it was going to be bad, but what the actual hell was that? And that's the beauty of the Eclipse. Kentaro Miura literally tells you what's going to happen, and somehow still found a way to shock everyone with the dark reality of his world. So to make a long story short, the reason I believe the Eclipse and the Red Wedding stand out in terms of plot twists is that all of the evidence is right in front of your face, and the subversion is that you just simply didn't want to see it for what it is, and you're just not used to authors following through on promises when it comes to punishing main characters for the mistakes they have made along the way. With all that being said, if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what kind of videos you want to see from this channel in the future, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.